Important basic stuff. We're here with Diamond here. Remember Jerry? Happy New Year, Jerry. Let's see. We're looking
New
at
Year.
all of me. Thank you. I just renamed this study "All of Me." So such an important jazz swing song, um, and I have got a few different scale studies. I just renamed this to Easy Scale Study. Staying in position is kind of what it's about here. This particular study, I want to go through it with you before we look at study number one, strategies. So I want to talk about this here. Why do I call it easy, and why do I call it staying in position? I call it easy because it's just quarter notes. It's not about playing a lot of notes. It's not like a solo. It's just supplying what scale for you to choose. So, and the names are all in bold. So, what I always say is just kind of play the chord and then play the scale. And that's a C major scale. The fancy name is Ionian, okay? I'm going to delete this tempo marking. We don't need to see this. So it's called C Ionian. And please play through it. Here we got the major scale. Now I'm just staying in this position here on the 5th fret position, starting on C. So that would be it right here. You could even think of it this way. But that's just one octave, and it could go with this chord, C. If you wanted to think this shape here. Okay, this is a really versatile shape. It would look like this if you were to play the G shape. So, guitar players like to think the cage system often. So that's all I'm thinking here. Then then the scale morphs into A harmonic minor. Then this might be new for you. The thing is, I started on a B note. But what's important is that you get the notes here. So it's A harmonic minor, which, you might want to look at the master scale study syllabus. So again, if I were to label this, and I think I'm going to just go ahead and label this as a courtesy here, just as an important study, and I'm just going to do it by just putting in lyrics. These are the numbers of the scale. This is 1, this is the 7, this is the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, let me fix it 2, and then the 1. This is right down the scale. And then here, this is the 5th. This will tell you the colors you're achieving. This is the 4, this is the 3rd, this is the flat 9, this is the root, I'll just call it 1, this is the flat 7 on an E, this is all in relation to an E7 chord, and I know I said the parent scale is A harmonic minor, but it's on an E7 chord. That's typically when you'd want to use a harmonic minor scale. Why? Because I'm showing you right here, this is called the sharp 5 or the flat 13. I often call it the sharp 5, and then here's your 5 again. So this is what you get. You get E7, flat 9, this chord, dark, I flatted the 9, and then you can add the sharp 5 on top. Again, you can call it a flat 13 if you want, but listen to this. There I played the full scale, 2 octaves. That's why I'm calling this easy scale, because I'm just doing 1 octave. But still, this may be new for you. It's more conceptual than just, I don't want you just to memorize this little etude. I want you to understand which scales I'm choosing and why, okay? And so again, the scale, the chord that you would achieve by playing this, flat 9, sharp 5. Again, you can call it flat 13 also if you want. I end up calling it a sharp 5 often. This scale here, Ionian, is just plain vanilla. Just your plain old major scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And then harmonic minor here. And that gives you this chord. And then I continue the same concept on the A7 chord. That's a secondary dominant. There's some theory happening here. We're in the key of C. This is the 5 of the 6. This is the 5 of the 2. And because it's the 5 going to a minor chord, that's when you want to especially use the harmonic minor scale. So now, this is just kind of a little, I noticed like, well, I'm not starting, I might change this actually. I was kind of doing it to keep a continuity of the line going, but I might just morph it a little bit. Let me see what's going on. So instead of this note here, I like that flat nine. That's the flat nine. That's so it's going to give you the same notes as the previous. It'll give you an A7 sharp 5, which is this, or A7 sharp 5 flat 9, which is this. Beautiful dark chords. And the melody is actually this. It's actually got that flat 9. No good without you. So that harmonic minor scale is ideal for that chord A7 flat 9. Okay. So again, I'm just gonna keep it as is and just label this. But I'm just gonna label it to what you see and what you're playing. If you want to play along here with me, so that's a flat 9. You can label. You can say it with me here too. This is the
Flat
root,
nine.
the root, the 1.
The
This is
one.
again the thank you flat 9, and this is the third. There's
Third.
no natural 9. That's what makes it darker. Okay. Here's
All
your
right.
4. Here's your 5, and then here's your sharp 5 or flat 13. I'm gonna call it a sharp 5.
Third five. Yeah.
A7, sharp 5. Here's A7. I'm just playing an open string, by the way. I'll do it like this. And here's A7 sharp 5. And that's, again, that could be called flat 13. Why? Because here's your 13, your natural 13. But we don't want that. It's too happy. We want it a little bit darker. So again, you call that two different names. And then, of course, here's your flat 7. That's what makes it dominant. So if you notice, you have the 1, 3, 5, 7. That's what makes it
Oh.
dominant. And then the color is flat 9 and then sharp 5. So again, that's very kind of gypsy jazz, of course, too, that harmonic minor vibe against the dominant chord, the A7 in this case. So this song, All of Me, is so important to study and really master. This will help you to apply these ideas back to minor swing, back to any jazz standard, autumn leaves, it all works together. Do you have any questions on that so far?
Uh, no, it's this one's a little different than the one I've been practicing, but
Okay.
like on the E7,
Mm-hmm.
that B, you're starting on the five
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I
of
said,
the
it doesn't.
A.
Yeah, on the other one, I started on an E note. I
Right,
started on the
yeah.
root just for the demonstration, and it looked like this. Kind of good doing that little.
Okay, got the yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing is that you just want to practice your A harmonic minor scale and have some fingerings. Whether you start on the fifth degree or the third or the root for that
Whatever,
matter,
yeah.
that's important to know again. But it's kind of just important to know the alphabet, the vocabulary that we're using a harmonic minor scale. Because other players, if they were to see E7 as a standalone, just this, you might go. You might just play
Just
blues
playing them
licks,
in a different
for all that
order.
matter. So you got to just kind of know the context. So that's what I'm saying. It's all about the context of the song, or the progression here that you want to achieve. You might play Mixolydian. I'm being attacked by birds here in the background. But that's not the context. I mean, you could. I don't hear that for this song, for what I'm choosing, and this is again all filtered through me. But I'm saying I like the darker the flat 9 and the sharp 5. That's what I want to hear. And I always use the word audition. I would play with chords like this. I like those colors. Sorry, my guitar's out of tune here. But because I like those colors, that's what I want to use. Let's move along here if you don't mind, unless you have
Yeah,
any
yeah, yeah.
questions.
Okay,
Now
thanks.
I'm choosing, now we're back to the key of C. D Dorian is the 2 chord. So here I'm just starting on the 5th degree. Mainly it's just to keep the continuity of the line going, okay? So here I'm just gonna, if you want to say it with me again, we got this is A is the 5th.
The fifth, A
Let me see, where did, oh, I did the wrong thing here. Sorry.
underneath,
Yeah, thank you. 5th. And this is the 6th.
fifth,
That's the beauty of the Dorian mode.
sixth,
Flat 7,
flat
1,
seven,
the root,
one,
the 2,
D, the two, E, D, E,
or yeah,
and then
later
the
you could call it minor. You call it the 9. You'll call it a 9. I'm calling it a 2.
yeah.
You got the flat 3, that's what makes it minor. You got the 4. Later, you can call that the 11 even later with chords. And then this is,
Uh,
of course, the 5th degree, the A again.
degrees.
So that's Dorian. And again, I'm
A.
just going to start here for you. Here's D minor 7. I guess I'm just noodling the scale. Again, this is just a worksheet to tell you what scale choices to use. I'm not saying you have to play it in this particular order. With what I am doing, however, is just keeping a line going nonstop. Uh,
Uh-huh.
the continuity of the line playing through the changes. That's what's so cool. When we put a backing track on and play with it, it's going to sound really sweet, actually. So I'm kind of excited to do that. I'll put a backing track on, is what I'm saying, in a second. But let's check this out. Same thing here, but now I'm starting on the 3rd degree. So it's the same concept. We go back to that A7, and we're choosing a harmonic minor. So say it with me here. We've got the 3rd. This is
Third,
kind of the theory part of it. The flat 9.
flat 9.
You don't, and we could call it a flat 2, but when you're actually on the dominant chord, you're going to
Uh-huh.
call it a flat 9 and not a flat 2. Okay,
Okay.
and then the root, the 1, that's E. The
B,
D is flat 7. The
flat
C is
7.
flat 13, but
Yeah,
we're going to call it a sharp 5. It's a little bit more common as a
sharp
chord.
5.
And then the regular 5, the 11, or 4, sorry, we'll call it a 4, and then the 3rd
4 is
again.
A.
So yeah, in
Sharp.
this case, I covered kind of a little different part of the scale. You can see if from here and here, if you were to piece that together, you'd have this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel free to noodle it and hit that chord, hit the E7 chord. And of course, you'll have this part of it too. And I also just recommend referring back to my scale strategy, my scale syllabus sheet that has all the scales starting on, the root note there for you. So,
Yeah.
um,
Sounds a little like flamenco.
oh yeah, for sure.
Harmonic
Just
minor.
that's the vibe, but that's a lot of the gypsy jazz music as well,
Hmm.
coming from that region. Let's go on now. A Dorian. That's A Dorian is in what key? That's my question to you. What key is A Dorian?
A Dorian. So the A is D?
No,
I'm thinking of
Dorian is which mode
minor.
number? Yeah, Dorian is minor. Okay, Dorian, Phrygian, and Aeolian are minor. But what number is Dorian? If you don't know, just say you don't know.
I don't know. Yeah,
It's 2. That's okay. It's very important.
two.
It's a 2 because on jazz we have 2-5-1s. So
Yeah.
that means when you see that 2 chord, you're gonna just bust into Dorian mode. I
Uh-huh.
happen to be starting right here, in the on the A on the root. We did Dorian already here, so it's the same formula. It's 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, the natural 6, and then the flat 7. So in this case, I'm descending, so it's 1. Next one is a
One,
flat 7.
flat
And here's the
7,
natural 6, as if we're in the key of
6,
G. It's the secondary. It's like
sharp.
we're
Yeah,
in the key
F
of G
sharp. Yeah.
momentarily. And then this, the
5,
E is the 5th of A. This is the 4. This is your flat 3,
flat
and this is the
3,
2, and this is the 1.
2B,
So
and the
that's
1.
your Dorian mode. I'm just descending here.
Okay.
Now, what am I
Is that
doing
the
here?
5 then? The D7, a 2 5? If you were
I
in
got a
G?
little fancy here. This study. I did the study a few years ago, just so you know. So I'm kind of wanting to redo it. I do like the D7. This is the two. This is the two dominant chord. This is popular. This is like Girlfriend Ipanema, and I'll say often when you have a two dominant chord. This is a next level though. I don't say it's the second level, the advanced level. When you have a two dominant chord, like in this case, we're in the key of C. So I'm going to
Yeah.
go back to the
So
song
D's the
"Take the A
2.
Train." You must take the A train. You get this. The A train really kind of exemplifies that sharp 11 or the sharp 4. So that's
Uh,
the note I'm thinking here. I'm kind of doing the A train. I'm gonna leave it because I've learned this study is already out there. I might as well just have it. It's not easy strategy, but this is the more advanced part here. I'll just say it here though. If you wanted to, you can just keep A Dorian. I'm actually
uh,
gonna write that in parentheses too.
all right.
You can keep, or you can stay
Still minor.
on A Dorian. Yeah, Dorian is great. I just wanted a little bit of color change here. But this would be, if you stayed on A Dorian, that would be a 2-5, as if you're in the key
Right.
of G. So it'd just be like this.
Uh,
Now this. So that's a little bit of color here. I just want to say that's a sharp 11. We can call it flat 5 to D9 sharp 11 is how you'd see it, but you might also see it as a flat 5 or sharp 4 for that matter. So because it's a dominant chord, I'm actually going to call it the sharp 11 because that's what you'll often see it in books. You might even actually the chord you might see is D7 flat 5. Again, it's this particular note. So again, I just want to prepare you for that. I'm going to call it a flat 5 now.
so you're
I appreciate
choosing
that.
an A minor scale
I'm
because
choosing to, yeah, this is very, very
the
common.
second chord is an A if you were in G. Is that
Yeah,
right?
momentarily we're in the key of G, but remember, I'm telling you that this is a secondary dominant, the 2 dominant,
Right.
which is the 5 of G, right? But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, whenever you have a dominant chord that's the 2 dominant, it's quite often the case to play the melodic minor scale off the
Okay.
5th. So it's just like
Oh,
these little jazz tricks. Mainly just get this color note, this G sharp. Otherwise, that's the only difference. Otherwise, if you just stayed on A Dorian, you'd have G natural. But
on the
when you
five.
add the G sharp, that's the flat 5 or the sharp 11, however you want to call it. I'm calling it a flat 5 in this
Five.
case. It's just kind of easier. You'll probably see it as flat 5 if you looked at Take the A Train, for example. It's built into the melody. When it do this, listen to this right here. See that
Yeah.
color? That's the melodic minor sound there. D7 flat 5, okay, or D9 sharp 11. The scale, the parent scale you would use is the A melodic minor. That's the beauty of the 2 dominant, okay? So remember, the 2 dominant, if you're in a major key song and you encountered a 2 dominant chord, and yes, that's the 5, we just call it 2 dominant. The melodic minor on the 5th degree is choice, generally speaking. So now I'm going to be very thorough with this. This is because it's a dominant chord. This is supposed to be called it. You can call this a 6 or a 13. I'm not going to confuse you too much. Oops, I'm in tabland here. I'll just call it a 6. So we got the flat 5 or the sharp 11, as I mentioned. You call it 2 names. Actually, should I do that? Here, I'll just, out of courtesy, sharp 11. You might see it 2 names.
Yeah.
On a chord, I'm talking about you'll see it on chords. This will help you start to learn about what scale do I use. You know what I mean? So, I mean, right now I just said D7. I didn't say D7 flat 5. I didn't say D9 sharp 11, but that's how you'll often see it in fake books. And then the C is the flat 7. That's what makes
Flat
it,
seven.
dominant, and then the root, the 1, and then the natural 9, which is just a 2, we'll call it, and then 3, and then again the sharp 11 or the flat 5. I want to call it both names, so I'll put it in parentheses. There. Really colorful. I know the melodic minor is still new for you, and for many people. Great sound. Um, and then this is now just the Dorian mode again, the 2. And then I kept it the same for this 2-5. I didn't get fancy here. We could have taken it a little bit outside, but I just kept it all on the Dorian. So that's a very vanilla dominant chord there. But we'll label it to the chord anyways, since we're doing the scale. So this is a 5th.
The
This is
fifth
always important to do. This is like what I
seventh,
recommend to do with melodies, is to analyze a melody to the chord. This is the 6 degree, natural six, not
sixth
flat six.
degree,
This is our
flat
flat
seven.
seven, and this is the one. And then we're continuing on with the Dorian, D Dorian. I didn't write a new scale here. It could be called G Mixolydian, but it's the same thing. So I'm not going to confuse by changing
Okay.
the name, even though I do call it C Ionian here. I do have to say C Ionian is the same as D Dorian. It's the same
Uh,
thing. So here's G7, and we're going to continue on. That's the 6. That's the flat 7. Very vanilla. This is a root, and this is the 2 or the 9. Okay, on a dominant chord, you often refer to it as a 9.
yeah.
Again,
Oh,
very, very pretty, very inside choice here. Okay, now I'm back to the beginning. I just do a little bit of a different lick here, or melodic idea. Let's continue. I'll go a little bit faster here. This is a 7. Oh, what happened here? The
C
7. This is a root.
seven, B natural.
Yeah, C natural. Back to the B root.
One,
7. The 6 degree.
s- the A six,
The 5th degree. The 4th, the 3rd, very vanilla, very
A,
pretty, very pretty.
F is
2,
the fourth.
and then now I morphed back to the harmonic minor. That's what HM means. This is a sharp 5. Again, it could also be called a flat 13. I'm just sticking with one name. This is the 5th, regular 5 that is,
The
and this is
A
the 4th. This is the 3rd.
third.
F is the flat
F
9.
flat nine.
The root, I'll call it a
A
1.
seven.
Flat 7. Here's that C sharp again. That's color. That's this chord. C natural. That's the sharp 5 or flat 13. Okay. And then, oh, A says same thing here. I'm just going to go kind of cruise through this same stuff, flat 9. So you're learning something very important. You're learning on a dominant chord that it's a secondary dominant, the 5 of the 2 or the 5 of the 6, or the 5 of the 3 for that matter, which is less common in jazz standards. You play the harmonic minor scale off the fourth degree, for that. So you see this, you basically say
You see
A7 is the,
D.
yeah, you say A is the 5 of D, and then you play D harmonic minor. So
Yeah.
here's your flat 9. This is your root. I'm just going to continue on. This is your flat 9 again. This is the 3rd. Here's the 4, right up the scale. 5. Oh, here's that sharp 5. We can call it a
Five.
flat 13 as well. And then here's the flat 7. D Dorian, same stuff as before. Again, you're learning these colors and how to choose scales. Of course, separately, you got to be able to play these scales, without thinking. That's where you just start kind of do those scale patterns and the syllabus. I always say flat 3, 4, and the 5. Oh, this is the important part here. You took the part that once was my heart. I am going to change this here. I don't want a harmonic. A harmonic minor should not have been written there. I'm just going to go to F Lydian.
Oh, right, right. That's how it is in the other study.
Yeah, F is the 4. F is the 4 of C major, and Lydian is the 4th mode. So A harmonic minor is a very interesting color. It's great for gypsy jazz. Kind of has a circusy, but that's not necessarily what we want. So again, look at, I only had give a little portion of the scale. So this is a sharp 11 or sharp 4. Yeah, really kind of lean on that Lydian vibe too. It's pretty. That's a sharp 4 color, 5, sharp 4, 3. That's very
Four,
pretty actually. Actually, that's really pretty. Listen to this.
G, A.
And then on the F minor, I'm going to go to F Dorian, and I'm surprised that I didn't actually write that on top. Melodic minor would be oh, it looks like I did want melodic minor. How do I know? Because of this E natural. So we have F Lydian, F melodic minor, It's just one note. That E natural, that's the major seven. So I'm going to go ahead and write F melodic minor. And that's actually my preferred scale, but a lot of jazzers will play Dorian. Kind of versus. So let me see how I'm kind of staying within one position. I can see that's what the exercise is labeled, staying in position. So I'm going to stick with that format. This just requires that you really know your scale shapes, and you know what I mean. It's not an easy study. It's easy because it's quarter notes, but like walking a bass line. But it's actually challenging. So take it slow, and this will help you know what scale choices to use. And I'm going to call this F Lydian, or sorry, F melodic minor. Usually I just start abbreviating as soon as you know these. So we got the third.
Or
That's
F Dorian if you wanted to,
F
but
Dorian would be
not
totally
quite as
fine. Thank you.
hard.
And you know what? Thank you for saying that. In parentheses, I'm going to say F Dorian too is good. There's always so many scale
Something
choices, you
more to
know?
learn, right?
Yeah, Dorian gives it more of a bluesier vibe, and it would actually fit well with the chord, the minor seven. But I just want this. Okay. So we got the flat three. I just wanted that particular color. So it'd be, here I'm going to play with chords. F major 7, sharp 11. F major, minor, major 7. And then C Ionian. Even though the band often plays E minor 7. And then A7. I'll put a sharp 5 so you can hear feel the color. See, I had the flat 9 too. That's a harmonic minor. So I'm thinking a lot of the colors. D Dorian. Now for the G7, I want to do this. See, then I would do this scale. I would do the melodic minor scale, half step above on the flat 9, A flat melodic minor, and that would bring out those colors. But I didn't do that, so this is a little bit more basic. So let's finish this out here. Let's go back to here and label this. This is the flat 3.
3.
Oh no, I didn't go to the.
1.
Yeah, I skipped a note. I didn't mean to. Let's change this. let's make it a scale study here. This is being updated. I often say on Patreon that these etudes, it might be different from the last time you looked at it. So, um, um, it kind of sucks because now I have to. Now there's gonna be somewhere in there. There's gonna be a leap because the basic goal for this was to keep the continuity of the scale line going without like skipping a step, literally. You know. So somewhere in here, I've got to put an eighth note. That's what I'm saying. See, there's a leap there. I gotta go to the E natural, and that's what brings out the melodic minor.
Okay.
And that's okay. Instead of the root here, I'd rather I'm going to just go ahead and put this note here. And I'm going to skip the root because that's kind of an artistic decision. The root doesn't add much flavor. I'd rather have the 2 and the 7 than the colors. Okay. So right here, I broke our little scale pattern here. This is a flat 3. This is let me get back to the note annotation.
3.
This is the
Yeah,
2.
2 or the 9.
The root. The major 7. I just wrote 7, not flat 7. The minor 7 has a flat 7 chord, so you can see it would fancy up the chord.
Oh.
Here's the 2. I'd call it a 9, but I'm calling it a 2 for now. 7, 6 is all in relation to the major, the 5.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to continue. This is a sharp 5. This is a regular 5. We already talked about the harmonic minor. This is the 4. This is the 3rd. This is a root. We already talked about. Oh, sorry. I would call it the 1.
E Dorian 1.
The 2, flat 3, just right up the scale. 4. But now, even though we change chords, I'm going to change the spelling in relation to the chord. Same scale. This is the 2. This is a 3. This is a 4, and this is a 5. This is very.
Yeah, I noticed your other one. It says G Mixolydian, which
I was gonna say, yeah,
famous
Jerry.
Dorian.
Yeah, this is D Dorian and G Mixolydian are the
Yeah.
same
Okay. Two,
collection of
three, four,
notes. They're all
five.
just C major. They're all in the key of C.
Uh,
So really, this whole last four bars, I just stayed completely in the key of C. I'm tempted to add some color as I would with chords, but I'm not for this particular study. I'll do study
uh,
number two. I mean, again, a study number two will add more colors, and I already have another scale study on all of me. So this I have to be careful when I'm calling these. This is the easy scale. Staying in position. It's specifically not leaving this area on the fretboard. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that
yeah,
that's what I'm saying is like we're just trying to navigate the changes while um, shifting scales essentially as
yeah,
appropriate. And while keeping a quarter note line going, which is also very challenging to keep that quarter note like a walking bass line. Here's the scale one, two,
one.
three, four, and then when we hit the G, it's one, two, three, four. See, it
Is
switched. So
that
just have.
the five or the one if you're back in
Yeah, isn't
G?
that interesting? Yeah, one if we are on the G7, but really the band would go 1, 6, 2, 5 as a turnaround, anyways. I'm just
Uh,
simplifying the chords.
right.
So yeah, now the fun part. Let me.
So if you were soloing, would you do 1, 6, 2, 5? Could you just stick with the what? That's 1, 5. Just play like arpeggio or play the scale as shown.
Yeah, but this is the whole. Yeah, that's a really beautiful question because I would, in this case, I'm saying that the band would play something fancy, a turnaround that might be like this. They'd add some color, but you could just go just a major scale, and it's
Uh,
still going to sound good, even though the theorist will want to analyze that note against that chord and that note against that chord, like what we're doing. But it's just
yeah,
going to sound good. The major scale is like the most basic scale.
it's in the key.
Yeah, let me tune up here. A little bit out here, but let me get a backing track to this.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
And as I'm saying, there's always many options for soloing. That's the thing, is that, and hopefully I'm presenting and sharing those type of options with you. So I just added a backing track here. Let's sync it
Yeah,
up
that's great.
together here. This is a good practice session right here, just focusing completely on scale choices and then how to practice it. This backing track says 180. That's pretty fast. I'm going to slow down so it's in half. Just this is for me to sync it up right
Yeah.
now. I'll go a little bit faster. A little faster. This is just for syncing, right? Syncing. Take my lips. I want to lose them. Take my arms. I'll never use them. Your goodbyes left me with eyes that cry. How could I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? C625 and top. And right here at this point, what I would do is I'm going to do this with you so that we can make it practice. I'm just going to repeat this 10 times. I don't think it goes through it 10 times, but I'll sync it up at the real tempo, getting close to the real tempo here.
How do you do that on Sound Slice?
How
At,
do I do what?
how do you add the 10 times in?
So I just
Where's
I went to the repeat sign up here, and then
okay?
when you add it,
Hold on, I'm
it
going to move I have your face is covering it. Okay, where's
here, I'll
where's
make
the
myself
repeat sign?
I'll make myself small. It makes it the repeat sign is right here. Bars, notes, repeats.
Okay, and then you pick
Sorry,
the
my big
beginning.
face is in the way. I know. Make me smaller. So big note bars, notes, repeat, and then it prompts you how many times. So I might just say eight
Oh, okay.
times. I
Awesome.
don't know how many times. He doesn't say how many times he goes through this, but it looks like quite a few from this. So now I'm at
Uh-huh.
the now I pumped it up to the real tempo just to so I could sync it up for practice. Mainly, what you'll do, what I would besides just running up and down what I wrote, is just to start to improvise a little bit. I mean, really, that's
Yeah.
what the goal
Yeah.
will be.
Each note.
Take my lips. I want your lips now. Take us. I'll never use them. Your goodbyes left me with eyes like how could I go on here without you? Lydian, melodic minor, or Tridorian next time. So why not take all of me? And again. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! What happened? My finger missed a measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I can do auto sync, but it doesn't quite work that well yet. So I find myself pushing the T button to sync it up.
Yeah, it ends up coming out better.
Yeah, hopefully 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. You just have to count and feel it and push it at the right time. Here's the last 8 right here. This is the exciting part. That's the minor 4. 1, 6, 2, 5. 1, 6, 2, 5. Top. And I missed it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. While we're doing this, let's slow down, Jerry. I want you to practice these scales. Maybe just follow along as written. All right. I'll do it. Keep pushing it. This way you can practice in real time, and you're gonna kind of memorize it. Maybe you'll see which notes change within this position. That's what's important. Here we go. I'm gonna go. This will be right at the top at 50%. Oh, that wasn't the top there. I missed the top. Beep-ba, beep-ba, beep-ba. I was doing these notes then. Where? And again, you can ad lib. Yeah, you're gonna. And I might like to play the blues scale right there, personally. Try the melodic minor here. Really neat color. And this is all just the same scale here. All the same scale. Still the same scale. C major scale. Yeah. There's your flat 9. Beautiful scale. Nice. Here we go, the exciting part. Nice. Yeah, so why not take all of me? Oh, sorry, Gary, I screwed up my button. Sorry, let's go back to the ending, the 251. Why not take all of me? Here we go. Oh, wait. I took my coffee instead. Me and the 5. Back to the top. A little bit faster. Beautiful. I can hear it. Yeah. Flat 9. And blue scale works often on the Dorian mode as well. There you go. Try to get that melodic minor. Oh, I was talking and pointing when I could push the button. I gotta stay focused here. Melodic minor. Dorian. On D Dorian. I'm sorry. I'm doing this to you. I keep missing. I'm zoning out. You took the part that once was my heart. Yeah. Nice. Help me. And all with me. Again, I'm sorry. Stop. You're sounding great. We're really actually you sound like you're in time too. Our latency it's minimal today. Here we go. All of me. And then, okay, so why not take all of me? Scale. Can't you see? I'm no good without you. Fill in with the scale. And then take my lips. Do-do-do-do. I want to lose them. That's what a filler would do. Background. Saxophone player. Dance around the vocals. And again. Or you could just play it as written, just quarter notes, like you're walking a bass line, like you're do, 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 do. Here comes the last 8. We're almost done here, by the way. So why not take all of me? And top. Looks like he's going to go around one more time, or half the time. He'll probably fade out. Yeah, you could be face value about this exercise or just start to improvise with these notes. That's what it's about. It's just free. That's why I'm just looping it over and over. Oh yeah, he's gonna go all the way through. We're almost there. Oh, that was interesting. I'm not sure what you did there, but there's some different colors we could do. I like the whole tone scale here sometimes. Oh, I'm sorry. You did something interesting on the C major. I think that was just an accident. But there's a lot of cool little outside things. Like, first thing I would do on a C major, this is, again, advanced level now, not written. But C major, I would play Lydian. That gives me the sharp 11 or sharp 4. Again, that's a Matheny sound. Also on C major, you can play A harmonic minor. You can play it early. A harmonic minor on the C major. I mean, if you want to, it gives you an interesting color, because it's the relative. So you can also play another harmonic minor too. What other harmonic minor? I mean, technically you can't, but then you can at the same time. C could be the flat. You could play E harmonic minor, like this. E harmonic minor.
Third.
Check this out. Yeah, off the third, the harmonic minor. That's really beautiful. Listen to this. You get the minor third and the major third. Kind of circusy, like this. You know what I mean? It's kind of exotic. So there's always other choices, I just want to say. But anyways, let's just continue on. And it never hurts to just sing along with these. You took the part and to know where you're at all times. That once was my heart, so why not take oh shoot, my finger didn't hit the T, sorry. So why not take hold of me, ba-doo, and to the top. He's gonna fade out. That was really nice. That was really. I'm gonna stop the video here. Actually, I'm gonna do a little quick demonstration of this myself, if you don't mind too.
Yeah,
I want to see what I would do, just trying to follow the. I'm gonna get rid of the sync here too. Doesn't. Let's see. How do I get rid of the sync? There. That's gonna make the screen bigger. Sorry, you had a little portion of the screen. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna lower the backing track just a notch so you can hear my guitar. I wish I was 100% in tune. I'm gonna kick up the tempo just a notch. Oh, I noticed a different pattern. Notice the chord notes, like I'm walking bass. Space, let it breathe. And again, I'm just kind of paraphrasing what I see here on the paper. I'm just trying to stick within these parameters. You know, it's like a little game. I'm walking the bass line, sometimes just going boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? I was doing like this. Boom, 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 do, 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 do. Sometimes just doing these little grace notes. I'm going ba-do, 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 like I'm shuffling. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty soon I'm just going to kind of forget this a little bit, which is the goal, but use these scales and use these strategies that I'm kind of, sharing, I guess you could say, or just kind of recommending to get these particular colors. And again, I would maybe try the Dorian mode next time and not do this. And maybe I'll just say it. I didn't do any blues scale at all, but I know I added a little blues. Like I went, just what I hear in my head is. It's funny to try to stay within these parameters. But that's how I would practice this strategy. And then we can use some other strategies, other scales, more melodic minor to get more outside. More whole tone, or we didn't even use any whole tone, but we can add some whole tone to this, add some other colors, blues scale pentatonics, no arpeggios, right? I think I maybe did a little bit of arpeggios. I think I went like this. I threw in one little arpeggio in here, but otherwise I was thinking more scalar. a little bit more scalar. We could do sequences like this. Diva, patterns, sequences. Do 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 do. It almost sounds like more like maybe some rock style guitar player, But again, that's all very valid. We could do little pedal points like da 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 da. Then maybe I'm still staying within the scale parameters of what I'm recommending here.
Yes.
I'm just having fun with trying to be creative with how I'm playing the notes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like there, I
yeah.
went like this. Maybe it's eighth notes like this, and then maybe that was a pedal tone. I went like this. One and two and three and four and one and two and three and four and then maybe here one and two and three and four. I'm just trying to take the same concept,
Uh,
of just like pedaling off a note and creating some new ideas. There's a huge possibility of ideas. You might just take every other note, whatever you get, almost like an arpeggio. If this is scale, you get different things. Pentatonics, you can extract notes. You could just be very minimalistic. That's very important. So again, take this with a grain of salt as far as like, do I have to play this up and down as written? No, it's not. That's not really the exercise. It's not bad to start and try to be able to do it. But the exercise, the goal rather, is to be able to just have fun making some music while playing the changes. And I say playing the changes and bringing out some of those colors as well.
yeah. All
It's pretty
right.
fun. I'm going to stop this video. It's pretty jam packed. Jamming. Good jamming, by the way.
Yeah,
It's
it's good. Good.
great. I love it.